As you say, quite a win for AMD today. We are seeing it reflected in the share price this morning. Marley, really appreciate it. I'll chat to you later on. Let's move on now and trade it with Tim Bigham. And good morning to you, Tim, option strategist at Pilot AI. How are you approaching your example trade for AMD? Obviously a nice bounce today, and obviously taking market share from NVIDIA is a good thing, I suppose, in this environment.
Yeah, absolutely, Sam. Good morning to you as well. And I am, cautiously, I guess, non-bearish on AMD. I'm certainly not thinking this is as bullish as some people are led to believe. I think it'll put a floor in AMD stock going forward here. So I wouldn't be chasing it up here at all. I would prefer to kind of wait for AMD to come back down and be a buyer. That 195 level is very interesting to me. That's held support more than several times. It's actually the price point where the previous deal that AMD had with OpenAI, very similar in nature, issuing warrants out, well above the current price. That's where the stock kind of broke out, fell back to. So I'm just being paid for my patience, selling an out-of-the-money put spread, I think, is the way to play it. IV is still elevated, even with today's rally. So going out to the traditional marches, selling the 195, 190 put spread right at that support level, about 7% cushion to the downside, collecting well over $1. So nice return on risk here of around 30-some%. And I think that makes more sense than trying to, run in and think that AMD is going to lift off from here. I think that the AI sort of stocks are really floundering a little bit here. Given the price action we've seen on it. We'll see what happens with NVIDIA, obviously, after the close tomorrow. That's the last big earnings and maybe the biggest of the year. But I think not chasing here and taking advantage of the fact that implied volatility, as you talked about in the previous segment with the skew, is certainly at highs here. So out of the money puts and put spreads are richly rewarded for selling. That's the way I like to play it here, not only on AMD, but generally going forward.
Okay, a good example trade for us on AMD this morning. Hey, look, let's just talk about the market action here. We're seeing a nice recovery and a bounce today off the back of what we saw yesterday. Obviously, AI disruption fears continue to weigh here. We've had this Anthropic product event this morning. It doesn't look like that's causing many traders to hit the panic button again today. It seems like some of the views out there initially have been that these fears are a bit overblown, but then of course we throw it ahead to the State of the Union address tonight. Let's see what President Trump has to say. How do you think about these markets this morning, Tim?
Yeah, it's kind of until it breaks out, it doesn't, Sam. We've been just mired in the muck, so to speak, in this fairly narrow trading range for the past half a year or so. 6,600 to basically the downside on the S&P, 7,000 to the upside. So what will it take to break us out remains to be seen. Earnings season pretty much coming to an end here. It's been good, not great. 10-year yield hanging around 4%. So everything really just kind of, sitting here waiting for some sort of event or impetus to at least get the market moving. We'll see if it will be a breakout to fresh new highs or that long-awaited pullback, right? But for the time being, I think it pays to kind of keep position sizes a little bit smaller, take advantage of that elevated implied volatility by selling options to hedge your existing positions.
All right, let's see if NVIDIA is that catalyst in the market tomorrow. We'll be watching, but really appreciate it in the time being. Tim Bigham there, options strategist, Pilot AI.